Hi guys and welcome to Motorbeam. Today I have with me the most popular MPV on sale in India, the Toyota Innova Crysta, and of course the proud owner of the car, Mr. Ayush.
Hi.
So hi Ayush, first of all thank you so much for coming for the shoot. Can you give us a quick introduction about yourself? What do you do? What are your hobbies?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Ayush Bingare and I'm a product designer by profession. And some of my hobbies include, going out for drives and going out for walks with my dog. And I love to, design things whenever I've got free time, sketching out and etc.
So can you give us a brief history about your car? When did you buy this car? What variant is this? What other cars did you consider?
Okay, so this is a 2016 variant, 2.8Z automatic. So it's been around in the family for around 5.5 years now. And frankly, I mean, no other cars were considered because this was the only option apart from, I think, Hexa at that point of time. And so we went ahead with this one and we wanted an automatic car because the previous, the car that we had was a manual one. So that.
So why did you buy this and not the Hexa? Any particular reason for that?
So one major reason behind that was that I had the Altis for around 10 odd years and I was pretty happy with the service and the maintenance with the Altis. And then this decision was basically one with our eyes closed. So Hexa, yes, it was a very good car as such, but Tata somewhere hit and miss service. So based on that.
So in these years, how many kilometers have you driven this car? And apart from you, who uses the car in the family?
So this has run for around 67,000 kilometers roughly. And apart from me, my father, so this is my father's car, so he uses it mostly. But then he has a driver, so generally, for office purposes and all. And sometimes, up down to Pune, etc. And that's it. Generally not a very heavy usage as such.
So how do your family members like this car? Do they like the comfort that it offers, the features and of course the performance?
Yeah, most of them are pretty happy with the car. Except for the elderly, my grandmother, the only issue she's faced is, getting inside the car because of the height. Other than that, I think pretty happy in terms of ownership.
So what do you think about the design of the Innova Crysta? Now some people say that this has this taxi image, it looks like a van. So what do you think about that?
See, that is, I think, based on personal choice. First time in flesh when I saw it, I personally, I liked it. I won't say that it was very exceedingly, designed, but it is good on the eye, is what I think. So I personally think that the rear end could have been designed much better. Other than that, I don't have any issues in terms of design.
So what are the top 3 things that you like about your Innova Crysta?
So this one being the BS4 model, so this is a 2.8Z and personally I am happy with the power delivery that the car has. So since they've done away with the 2.8 liter engine now, and so it only comes with 2.4. And other than that, I think as per what you've heard, the highway stability is quite good, rock solid, and overall it's very spacious. Feature wise they could have had some more features, but other than that, very well to do car as such, works.
So according to you, what features could they have added to the Crysta?
So first, what I personally want in the car is that it should have ventilated seat at this price point. The facelift and also misses out on that. Then the biggest omission what I think for a car is an auto dimming IRVM that it should have, because even my Polo has that. So I don't think why they cannot give that. And other than that, I think they could work a bit on the suspension because sometimes it is a little jittery. Otherwise, no, as such, could do with a power boot, sorry if I may add, yeah.
Apart from that, do you think there's any room for improvement in terms of the interiors or the performance or anything else that you would like to add?
Yeah, sure. So one issue that I had was, so the interior plastics of the car are not up to the mark. They don't belong in a 27 lakh rupee car. You see, the previous car that I had, the Altis, had much better interiors and soft touch plastics that it had. So even this as well as the Fortuner, I think that they could work on the interior plastic because over the years there is a creaking sound that comes out in the boot part of the car. So I've managed to resolve that, but then eventually it returns due to some lubrication, drying of lubrication and all. So they could very seriously work on the plastics because they don't feel at home in this car, personally speaking.
And how has the service experience been? Where do you get the car serviced? What are the costs like? Any major repairs done?
So generally the car goes to Millennium Toyota Thane, or if not then Shilfata, that is Kalyan. So the experience has been very pleasant one, not nothing bad. So there have been, glitches here and there a little bit, but nothing, major. And overall the costs as well are, within the range of the car. The said maintenance range. Only thing is that the maintenance is around 5,000 kilometers. Should have been 10,000.
Yeah, the service
service interval. Yeah.
Mhm. That was about the service part. Now, when you open the doors, when you sit inside the car, what kind of feeling do you get inside the cabin?
I won't say it is particularly very heavy built or something, but it is good for what it has been offering. And I think with 7 airbags and all, so mainly the car is comfortable, and on highways as well, it is safe. You don't feel nervous when you're doing certain speeds.
And how do you like the space inside the cabin, the space management, the shape of the seats, the comfort that they offer?
So that is a very major plus point with the car. I think with the frame that even I have, so it's a plus point for me as well, because it is quite comfortable. And main thing is that, talk about me or even my driver or anyone else driving, so none of us have ever felt fatigued in the car for longer journeys as well. So pretty comfortable as such. Yes, there are some bits of trim pieces that they could work on to give you a much more nicer feel, but the ambient light in general helps the case sometimes.
And is there any feature on the car which you got to know after buying the car? Like before buying the car, you weren't aware that this car has this feature, but after buying it, you got to know.
Yeah, so I did not know that this car had follow me home headlamps. So they did show that, but I wasn't aware of how you would get them to work with. So generally, so your light should be on auto mode, and then you switch back the light switch and hold it for around 5 seconds, and then they are on till around 20 odd seconds. So that was one thing that I didn't know. The other one is that sometimes when there is a lot of weight in the car, the lights level automatically. So that's there.
Okay. And have you installed any accessories on your car?
Yeah, so it has a 360-degree camera.
Okay.
So that is an official accessory from Toyota. As usual, Toyota being Toyota, they charged a lot for that, but it's a nifty accessory, I would say.
So what was the cost of that accessory?
So this was done around 3 odd years back. So that time it cost me around 24,000 something. So now if you go for this one, so that is much higher. So you have to change the complete unit. So they give a Modi Bear unit, I think so. So that is around 50,000+, I think, if you buy it today.
Okay. So when you take this car out on the highways, do you really enjoy pushing the 2.8 liter engine to the max? Do you use the different driving modes, eco mode, power mode?
Yeah. So while on overtakes, I think the power mode comes in handy, because you don't have to think about overtakes with some other cars. And in general, in eco mode also, coasting, it is a very pleasant coaster as such. So it takes its own sweet time in eco mode. And normal mode then is normal. So, but it has a lot of grunt inside that as well. And power mode, again, it becomes a different car altogether.
So what kind of mileage are you getting from the car?
Yeah, so city, I've been getting around 9.8 to 10, that is speaking very modestly. And highway close that I've gotten to is 13.6, not more than that. It is a fair, pushing your car to a certain limit to get more mileage. I have not been able to get that much.
And what do you think about the ride and handling balance of the car, the weight of the steering, the suspension?
So the steering for cities is very heavy. It is not very user friendly, very cumbersome for city usage. But highways is where it is pretty handy. And ride again, it is a very great cruiser on a straight stretch of road where there are no potholes. But when you throw the car out, throw those potholes in front of the car suddenly, it does get a little unsettled. And that could be due to the 17-inch wheels also, because since they had that 16 and 17-inch changes that were made, so depending on that.
Okay, so talking about the wheels, now you changed the wheels on your car. Can you tell us more about that? You got Michelin tires. So how better are they from the older ones, the stock tires?
Yeah, so the stock ones were Bridgestone Touranzas. So I thought that they didn't have ample grip on wet tarmac and etc. So they used to skid sometimes, and the traction control light used to flash on generally. So I got them replaced around 3 years of the car's usage. So I got Michelin Primacy. I've been quite happy with the performance. They are much more stable on highways, and the biggest difference is that on wet conditions they don't skid like the previous tire used to do. So other thing I did was I upsized the tire. So this is it gets 215 55 R17. I went to 225 55 R17.
So what kind of a difference has that made to the comfort levels inside the car?
So ride has certainly been much better than what we used to get, and the older tire, as you know, were notorious with pinches and tire burst issues, etc. So that hasn't happened as such, and it holds on to the air or the nitrogen much better than what the Bridgestone used to do. So they used to let out air. I don't know for what particular reason.
And what do you think about the audio system of the car, the touch screen quality, the sound quality from the stock speakers? Are you happy with that? What kind of music do you listen to?
So I think if you have asked me this question 5 years back, I would have been happy. But around 5.5 years down the line, I mean, some hatchbacks get much better music system than what this or even the Fortuner gets. So I think they could work on the audio system, the speakers, and the touch screen, the quality of touch screen as well. It is a very laggy touchscreen in today's day and age, and other small cars get Bose and JBL speakers, so that it's much better investing in those.
What do you think about the third row comfort of the car? Have you traveled in the third row for a long duration, or maybe someone from your family has?
Yeah, so I have traveled. So we had gone to Guhagar, that is Konkan, Maharashtra, near a relative's place, and I've used the third row for multiple occasions. So for a person of my body type, it is okay. I wouldn't say very particularly comfortable. So you can do shorter distances and short time intervals, but not like hours and hours of journey. So a person of smaller frame maybe could do.
Now Toyota and reliability and resale value go hand in hand. So was that a deciding factor for you while buying the Crista?
So resale value was, I think, something that I hadn't thought about, but Toyota definitely was, because we had a joyous ownership experience with the Altis, and hence based on that we were thinking that yes, I mean, going on to a Crista, which is a much more at that time premium offering, would give us a lot of joy in terms of ownership with Toyota.
So how long do you plan to retain this car?
So depends, I mean, what car can fit in the suit of this car, that depends on. I mean, I've looked at some other cars as well, but right now nothing have been floating our boat.
So have you gone for any long drives with your family, any memorable trips with this car, some anecdote that you would like to share?
Yeah, so as I said, we've been to Guhagar, so that was around 8.5-9 hour journey from here, and the car was very comfortable. There was no feeling of any jolts or anything, and no one felt tummy upset or anything. So that being said, it is a very comfortable cruiser. So that one thing it does very well, even if it loses out on certain features or anything. Other than that, I mean, we had the whole boot filled with mangoes when we returned. Yeah, so that's there. So that is a very vivid memory that I have.
So any future trips planned with this car, some dream destination that you want to visit with your Crista?
Yeah, so I'd like to travel to the Gir forest, so run of Kutch. So I mean, that trip is in the making, how trips are. So hopefully, let's see, I mean, I'll plan that trip.
Okay, so if you had to share a piece of advice with someone who is looking to purchase an Innova Crista, what would you tell that person?
Talking about, I mean, today's day and age, there are much better options than the Crista, frankly. I mean, in terms of sheer durability, ease of ownership, and maintenance cost, I think Crista is an undisputed leader even today. But if you see features and the looks of the car, I think perhaps the XUV700 or the Safari does much better job. But again, I mean, that depends on how sort of service you have been getting and what you're used to.
Yeah. So, and if you had to sum up your car in one word or one phrase, what would that be?
I would just say that it is a workhorse. I mean, it's dependable.
Dependable, reliable workhorse.
As a workhorse, I would say, because it does all the jobs thrown at it, and it has never felt sluggish. I mean, all the time that I have been using it, it does not, take away your joy of that sudden burst of power that it has. That all has been there. So the very reason that I have still kept it is because of the engine. Because this one they have discontinued, as you know, with the BS6 one.
So you really love this car. Now, if you had to give it a rating out of 10, what would that be?
So I would have, frankly given 9. But because it does not have all these nifty features that we've spoken about, and some interior plastic quality that I am not happy about, so I would go with around 8.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ayush, for sharing your experience with us. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you also want to share your ownership experiences with us, please do hit us up on contact@motorbeam.com. I'll see you in the next one.